Yo guys, what's up? So I wanted to just do a quick demo of Veo3 and just to show you like where the technology is at and also just a kind of a simple way to use it. But this is Flow, which is where you access Veo3 from. So I have the Google AI Pro, which is $20 a month. And I get like a certain amount of credits. And I believe the credits might even roll over from the previous month because I remember having less credits. But anyways, you have projects here. So this is just to kind of group your videos together. Um, but yeah, this is what it looks like when you have a bunch already generated. But this is like your main prompt window. So you can see here you've got text to video, which is pretty like that's the most simple one, right? You just give it text and it outputs video, and you can choose if you want to do VO2 fast, uses 10 credits, or VO3 uses 20 credits. So I'm at 780 credits right now. And then you can choose more outputs, which obviously, that will use more credits. But for some reason, it doesn't always update. I'm pretty sure it'll be more credits. So it's still a little glitchy, which I don't understand how Google can make such an amazing like AI model that generates videos and then just completely mess up like the studio UI and UX. But anyways, and then you have quality, which I've never actually used that because that's really expensive. That's 100 credits. And yeah, now, whenever you generate a video from here, it's going to be 8 seconds long. So, as you can see, each of them is 8 seconds. I don't know why. I don't know who picked this number. Um, you can tell it to make the video longer. I think you can tell it to make the video shorter, and at least for me, it's always just 8 seconds. So that's just something you have to deal with if you're trying to use this to make a movie or for whatever you're using this. Now, here is the cool part. So text to video is very like you're gambling, right? Because you have to have a really good description and then the video comes out and it might look, nothing like what you had in mind. So the cool thing that I use a lot is it's called frames to video. So frames to video is where you can pick an existing image um, that you have, and then it will take that image, and that image will be the first frame of your video. And then after that, you can prompt it to instruct it what actually happens in the video. So for example, here, if I click reuse prompt on this one, I gave it an image, a first frame that looks like this. Um, Whoops, sorry guys. An image that looks like that. And then I told it what to do. You can also give it a last frame, so then it will end there. So I haven't actually tried that yet, but that might be something useful. Um, and yeah, you can tell it what sort of transition should happen here. I haven't used that much. I've just been kind of raw prompting it mostly. But this is very useful because now if you want to make a scene, like here I wanted to make like a chest in the middle of some mountains on a valley, right? I don't have to go and prompt it and then gamble with 20 credits and also wait for it to generate. Instead, what I do is I go to Grok, um, and then I say, well, where's my most recent? Anyways, I tell it to generate an image for me. Um, and then also sometimes I go to Gemini and I tell it to generate an image. Now, one thing that you have to be careful is oftentimes Grok or Gemini um, will generate an image that is not, it's not the full size. So like right here, this image is not actually 1920 by 1080. It's not 16:9 ratio, which means that when you put it into Veo3 as a first frame, as I did here, um, it will look like this when it comes out. So you see there's black screen on this side and black screen on this side. Um, so when I click play, it still has the black screen, and if you're trying to make a continuous video, this is just unfortunate. Now, there is a way to get Veo3 to actually um, basically like zoom in and fill that space. So for example, right here, I told it the abstract representation of a character expands into a full horizontal 16:9 aspect ratio composition, blah blah blah. And so as you can see here, it started out obviously as a very vertical image, and then it spun out like this, and let me show you again. It spun out like this, and it, put it into the background. Now, as you can see, that one was not like very smooth. Like you could see kind of the vertical image transforming there. I've had it also where it looks better, like with this one, right here. You see it just kind of slowly grows, um, and this is all, this was a very long prompt. Now, these prompts, well, sorry, before I jump to the prompts, I want to say, um, another thing is that basically it's just better to start with an image, because I told it right here, uh, to make it 1920 by 1080, 16:9, basically the same instructions that I had for the other two, and it just ended up not doing that. So as you can see, sorry for all the sounds, but as you can see, there's still black on both sides, despite what I told it to do. So it doesn't always work. So your best shot is making sure that your images are the correct dimensions. They're the dimensions that you want your videos, and then going from there. Okay. Now to the prompting. So as you can see right here, uh, this is a prompt, and you can write it yourself, but I found that it's best usually to let Grok write the prompts. So what I do is, I tell it basically what I want. Um, just talk to it and say like, this is what I want from the video. Uh, you can probably use Gemini for this, or really any other AI model. But I just always ask Grok to use Veo3 best practices. Um, and so then, instead of me having to write a prompt every time, I kind of get Grok to do it for me, and then just copy paste this prompt and put it into Veo3. So that's the prompting. That's definitely something to play around with, and it takes a while to figure out. Like I don't know that much about it, because I just try to go quickly, and even if the result's not perfect, just try to use it and keep going, because otherwise you get stuck. But yeah, so over time you'll probably figure out the best way to make prompts. I think right now prompting Grok 4 to make the prompt is your best shot. Now this is really cool. So they have something called the scene builder. Um, Now the scene builder, this is not a do not make your do not use this as your video editor, because this is not a video editor. First of all, it doesn't actually save the scenes between sessions. So what I can do is I can click here, add to scene, and it's gonna be in my scene, right? And then I'm like, oh, I wanna add another thing to the scene, and I go here and I click add to scene, right? And now I have these two videos in the scene, and then you're like, oh, I can also like move them around, and like that's super cool. Yeah, so if you ever like reload the page, um, your scenes go away. So the scene builder, do not use it to, to edit your video together. Now, what the scene builder is useful for is this scenario, and this is the exact scenario, is I have, let's say this video, and I want to make an extension of something that happens once the video ends, right? So what I do now and this is what I did for these videos, for example, is I click add to scene, and now what you can do is you can click plus and extend. And so what this will do is this will basically pick up the last frame from the first video and use it as the first frame of the next video, and then it will continue animating. Now, I still use this, so you can see like this is my grok thread for the jellyfish here that I was using, and I kept asking it to uh, write an extend prompt. So it would write an extend prompt describing what the jellyfish would do. So one thing is the extend prompt is Veo2 only. So if I try something and I click here, it will say you have to switch to Veo2 because otherwise there's no extend. And Veo2 does not have audio. So if you're relying on audio, your extended clips will not have audio. But if you're not using audio, then this is perfect. Now, I won't show you how I made them, but if I go into here, I can show you, right, I got this, and then I extended into this. So basically, it showed up right here, and then I also extended into this. So these things appeared after I clicked extend, and it took some time, and then it generated them. And then on this one, I clicked extend again, and it generated more. And so you can see like it starts out here, and then right zooms in, and then here it basically picks up the same frame. You can see it's not perfect. There was a little bit of lag. So watch closely here. Again, just a tiny, tiny bit of lag. So it doesn't perfectly do it, but it might be good enough depending on your use case. This might be good enough. Now, one thing to know is that once you've done this, there's a download button here. I do not suggest downloading from here. The reason for that is that when we go to the downloads, let me see. So this one I downloaded directly from the scene builder, and as you can see, the frame width is 1280 and the frame height is 720. So the resolution is smaller. It gives you all three as one chunk. It's convenient, but the resolution will be worse. So what you want to do when you're downloading and you want high resolution is you click download, and then right here you want to click upscaled. Now this is annoying because the UI for this sucks. This is gonna take like maybe, okay, well, it was really fast. Sometimes it takes up to like 2 minutes. And only then you can click the download button. And if you're doing this for multiple videos, this doesn't tell you which video this is for. And if you click this download button and you click upscale, it's just gonna start upscaling it again. So the UI makes no sense. It's annoying. But basically just do like one video at a time, and then once you're ready, you download it. And then once you do that, I'll show you. 1920 by 1088. So it's the high resolution. And actually this was the video with the low resolution, right? Right here. Which you can't even see. Like it still looks pretty good despite, I mean, it's a little bit blurry, but this was the video. So now I'm just gonna try, like if I download this and I click, yeah, see I can upscale it. So then once I upscale, which hopefully this will be quick. It's also annoying because once you click upscale, it's like you have to wait for it and then you have to click download. It's not like it upscales and downloads it. It's a whole process. So it's good if you have something else that you can be working on, and then occasionally just check back to see if the upscaling is done. But I'm just gonna pull up this video near the end just to show you the difference in resolution, hopefully. Um, but anyway, so that was a lot of info. That's basically like most of what I know and how I use Veo3. Um, if you're interested at all, I would highly suggest trying it out. I don't know if they have a free trial, but you can do $20 a month, and you get enough credits to play around with it and see if you like it. Um, Now, one thing I do want to say is I was really excited because the characters could talk. That was the whole point that where a couple months ago they released like this video and it was like, oh, we can talk now, and it was a bunch of AI um it was a bunch of AIs like talking AI generated videos with people or characters talking to each other. And it's like you don't have to do the voiceover on your own. They can talk to each other. So caveat on that, it's not that good. I can't get it to be consistent. You're generating 8 seconds at a time, and then you have basically a whole new generation. So it's very hard to keep characters consistent, to make them have the same voice. Sometimes they don't say everything you want them to say. So I don't think that part is useful yet, unless you're making an 8 second clip, which maybe you are. Or maybe there's a way to prompt it better and get it to be more consistent. But at least for me, I've been using basically only the video. I haven't been using the audio at all. And by the way, to show you now that download has finished, uh, is we have a, is this, okay, that wasn't the, sorry, that was a different one, but 1920 by 1080. And then if we open this up, can we, well, it didn't let us compare, but I can just tell you this is significantly less blurry um, than the other video. So that's something to know. You get upscaling, you get it to 1080p. It doesn't cost any credits. It just takes a little bit more time, but highly recommend it. Um, Now, features that I don't have access to. So there is a subscription level above mine, which I believe is $300 a month. Um, and yeah, Google AI Ultra subscribers only. If I click upgrade, okay, so it's discounted at 125 a month right now. Um, uh, but the coolest thing you can do is it's called ingredients to video. And so what this is it's similar to frames to video, but instead of you having to supply a frame, you can supply like a person and a car, and then say make the person drive in this car, and then it will generate like the scene, and it'll have the car and it will have the person sitting in the car. So that's very convenient, I bet, if you want character consistency. Unfortunately, it's a little too pricey for me right now to be using that. Um, but it's very cool. If you guys have used it, I'd be very interested to know how well it works, and you know, if it gives you an edge over people who are just paying $20 a month. Um, but that's the gist of my VO3 explanation to you guys. Hopefully you learned a lot. I tried to talk fast because there's a lot to learn, and I don't want to make a hour-long video. Um, but yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and yeah, I mean overall it's pretty cool. I haven't used many other video AI models. I did have one last year and it was on my phone. I believe it was called like um yeah, it was this one, AI image generator, and it had a small video mode, but it would generate basically kind of like a GIF. So it would like slightly animate it. Um and actually, if we go on YouTube, um, hold on, I'll pull up a video that I made. But yeah, this video right here, so you can see there's animation, right? Like there's smoke and stuff. Or like people marching. So this was a year ago. So I mean, like, uh, Veo3 just blows it out of the water. I mean, look at like this thing can do, way cooler stuff. So yeah, overall pretty good for 20 bucks a month. I'd say it's a bargain. You also get 2 terabytes of storage and Gemini Pro. Um, but yeah, I think that's it for today. So thanks for tuning in, and hopefully see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.